And you also are very adamant about this Royals team in 2024 being a playoff team. So what characteristics and like the skills are that you guys possess in order to make this a playoff team?
Yeah, I'll get a better look at it next week when I start seeing everybody out there. But I think we're one of the teams that spent the most money this offseason.
Mhm.
I would consider the Dodgers an anomaly.
Yeah,
With
that's
the
like,
amount
yeah.
yeah, with the amount of money that they spent. But we attacked this offseason, and as a player, that's all you can really ask for from your front office. So now it's our turn to go show them that they made the good moves, of who they decided to keep, who they decided to go get. It's our turn now to go prove our front office right.
And we'll get to Bobby Witt Jr. in a second. But while you're looking at your phone before this extension was given to him, or you're hearing about all of these names being signed, these transactions, the money being thrown, that's a new thing for the Royals to be doing. So, what was that like to see that they're actually investing in y'all this time around?
Yeah, it's really cool, and I don't think that they were necessarily wrong with how last year went. But kind of before the year, it was said, "Hey, it's an evaluation year. This is what's kind of going on." You never really want to hear that as a player because then it kind of normally means we don't expect the team to be very good, and that's not necessarily what they meant. It was a quote that was taken, and then it kind of took off
Right.
because every year is an evaluation year. If I suck, like I'm being evaluated on sucking. If I play really well, I'm being evaluated on playing really well. So every year is an evaluation year. But we don't hear that anymore. They've said this is no longer an evaluation. It's time for
Mhm.
us to step on the gas and go. And I mean, to call a spade, like every year you're playing for your own job, you're playing for your front office jobs. Like every year is important. And this is another step forward for us as an organization to make that push towards the playoffs. And we're really excited about it with some of the new guys that we brought in. We're hoping for some really good performances this year.
And the team made a big commitment to Bobby Witt Jr. And the monetary value was definitely there. We know the numbers attached. Why is he so important to Kansas City and so deserved of this massive contract?
Well, I think when you start talking about importance of simply a baseball team, I'll get into Kansas City in a second, but you've locked up your shortstop, which most argue is one of the most important position on the field for the next 14 years, assuming he opts in and they opt in and everything works out that way. But that's a good place to start for building a team. So from their perspective, they're definitely looking at it as we can lock up this young guy who everybody loves. Nobody has anything bad to say. He's one of the best players in the league. He's the face of the franchise. We can lock him up for the next 14 years. We got that done. Now we can move on to everything else and figure out what we need to build around him. So from that aspect, just from a simple baseball perspective, it makes all the sense in the world. From a Kansas City perspective, I mean, with the two faces of each franchises that you now have, not that Salvador Perez is not anymore.
Yeah.
There's just a bit of a changing of the guard, and Sal would say it himself. It's Bobby's team, and that's something he takes a lot of pride in. So between Mahomes and Bobby Witt, who are also friends, that's a pretty big. Those are pretty two big faces to have in Kansas City, and from a Kansas City perspective as well, to see what a lot of people would consider to be a small market team spending this kind of money, it shows that they believe in this team, they believe in this organization, and they're ready to start winning too.